Everything in your life is a reflection of what you have accepted as true. If you wish to change your reality, you must first change what you believe within. The world around you is not separate from you. It is responding to you. It is shaped by the assumptions you hold, the thoughts you entertain, and most importantly, the feelings you embody. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are conscious of being. The secret is to assume the feeling of your desire fulfilled before you see a single trace of it in the outer world. Do not wait for evidence. Do not look to the world for confirmation. The world is only a mirror, reflecting back to you the beliefs you hold in the unseen realm of the mind. Your life is not shaped by what you desire, it is shaped by what you accept as true. This is the great secret that many overlook. They wish, they hope, they long for change, yet they do not see the transformation they seek. Why? Because deep within, their dominant belief contradicts their desire. They may want wealth, but if they still see themselves as struggling, lacking, or in need, then that is the reality they will continue to experience. The world does not give you what you want, it gives you who you are in consciousness. You are always manifesting whether you are aware of it or not. Your current circumstances are the result of past assumptions that have hardened into fact. The person who sees themselves as unworthy of love will, without effort, attract experiences that confirm this belief. The person who assumes money is scarce will find it slipping through their fingers no matter how hard they work, and the one who believes success comes easily to them will find opportunities opening up with little resistance. It is not your effort but your inner state that determines what you experience. If you believe something to be true, it will naturally become your reality. This is why struggle and force are unnecessary. The one who is confident in their wealth does not chase money. It flows to them because they already embody the state of abundance. The one who feels deeply loved does not beg for affection. It is given freely to them because they live from the assumption that love is already theirs. You must look within and examine your true beliefs. Not the surface desires you speak of, but the silent convictions you hold. Do you truly believe you can have what you seek, or do you secretly believe it is out of reach? Your outer world is always reflecting back to you the truth of your inner world. You do not need to ask anyone else what you believe. Simply look at your life, your circumstances, your relationships, your financial state, your health. Everything is an expression of the assumptions you hold, whether consciously or unconsciously. If you want to manifest something new, you must first become the person who has it internally. You must step into the reality of your wish fulfilled, not as an act of pretending, but as a shift in being. The moment you claim something as yours within, the outer world has no choice but to conform. But if you continue to see your desire as something separate, something outside of you, something that may or may not come, then you are affirming its absence rather than its presence. This is why many struggle with manifestation. They desire something, but they have not accepted it as already done. They see themselves as someone trying to manifest rather than someone who already possesses. They wait for physical evidence to confirm their belief instead of allowing their belief to shape their reality. The truth is, if you need proof before you believe, you will wait forever. The world does not operate that way. Belief must come first and reality follows. To shift your life, shift your identity. Do not see yourself as someone hoping for a change. See yourself as already changed. If you desire abundance, move through the world as an abundant person would. If you seek love, embody the energy of someone who is deeply loved and cherished. If you want success, think, act, and carry yourself as though success is inevitable, not with arrogance, not with force, but with quiet certainty. The mind may resist at first. It will point to current circumstances and say, "But look, this is not true." Ignore it. Your present reality is only a reflection of past assumptions. It has no power over what you choose to assume now. The moment you persist in a new assumption, the old reality begins to dissolve. The world is not fixed, it is fluid, shifting to match your state of being. You do not need to figure out how it will happen. That is not your concern. The how belongs to the unseen forces at work. Your only role is to assume it is already done. Hold the feeling of it as real. Walk in the knowing that it is yours. The moment you truly accept it, without contradiction, you will find that reality bends to meet your assumption. It is law. The greatest secret to manifesting anything in life lies in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled before any evidence of it appears in the physical world. This is where most people struggle. They wait for signs, confirmations, or proof before they allow themselves to feel the emotions of already having what they desire. But the truth is, the external world is only a reflection of the internal state. To bring anything into reality, you must first embody the feeling of already possessing it, even when the senses tell you otherwise. Your emotions are the language of creation. Whatever you consistently feel, you draw into your experience. When you assume the feeling of your desire as if it is already yours, you activate the unseen forces that shape reality. The world does not respond to what you want, it responds to what you feel as true. If you constantly feel the lack of something, you are reinforcing its absence. If you feel the joy, gratitude, and certainty of already having it, the world must rearrange itself to reflect that inner state. The mind, conditioned by years of logic and reason, resists this idea. It demands evidence before belief, forgetting that all things are first created in the unseen before they manifest in the seen. A house is first an idea, a masterpiece is first a vision. A great achievement is first a conviction held in the heart. The moment you accept the feeling of your desire as your present reality, the wheels of creation are set in motion. It does not matter what the outside world shows you now. What matters is the inner conviction that it is already done. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is not about pretending or forcing emotion. It is about sinking into the natural state of already having. Close your eyes and imagine it vividly. What does it feel like to be in possession of your desire? What emotions fill your heart? How do you walk, speak, and move through the world knowing it is already yours? Linger in that state until it becomes familiar. Let it settle in your being until it no longer feels like something you are reaching for, but something you simply are. This is where many fail, not because they lack power, but because they allow doubt to enter. They assume the feeling for a moment, but quickly return to their old ways of thinking. They check the outside world for confirmation, and when nothing appears immediately, they fall back into disbelief. But true manifestation requires persistence. The outer world is simply a reflection of past thoughts and emotions. It will take time to adjust to the new reality you have assumed within. You must not waver. You must hold firm to the state of being that matches your desire, regardless of what your senses tell you. Consider a tree that has just been planted. The seed is in the soil, growing beneath the surface, though nothing is yet visible. A person unfamiliar with nature might dig up the soil in frustration, believing nothing is happening. But the wise gardener trusts the process, knowing that the growth is already underway, even if the eye cannot yet see it. Manifestation works the same way. The moment you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the seed is planted. Your job is not to doubt or dig it up with impatience, but to nurture the feeling with unwavering faith until it breaks through into physical form. When you live from the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you naturally align your thoughts, actions, and behaviors with that state. You make decisions from a place of already having rather than seeking. The energy you radiate attracts circumstances, people, and opportunities that match your new state of being. Everything begins to move in alignment with your assumption. It is not effort that brings manifestation. It is the natural outflow of your inner world. The struggle ends the moment you stop waiting and start living as though it is already done. This is not wishful thinking. It is a shift in identity. You do not become something by merely wanting it. You become it by feeling it as true now. And when you do, the world has no choice but to reflect that truth back to you. The world you experience is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. Every event, every person, and every circumstance in your life is responding to what you believe, assume, and feel to be true. The mistake most people make is thinking that the outer world operates independently of them, that it is something separate, something they must struggle to change through effort and force. But this is an illusion. The outer world is simply a mirror, reflecting back the thoughts and emotions you hold within. If you want to change what you see in the world, you must first change what you accept as true inside yourself. Your circumstances are not random. They are the direct result of your habitual thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions. If you believe that life is difficult, you will see obstacles at every turn. If you assume that success is out of reach, you will find yourself constantly facing failure. If you feel unworthy of love, you will attract relationships that confirm that belief. The world does not contradict you, it simply reflects you. Many people believe that once they achieve a certain goal, they will finally feel happy, confident, or at peace. They wait for something outside of them to change before they allow themselves to feel the way they want to feel. But this is backward thinking. The external world is only a projection of the internal state. If you wait for the world to change before you change your emotions, you will wait forever. Instead, you must first become the person who already possesses what you seek. Only then will the world shift to match your new state of being. Imagine a person who constantly complains about their financial struggles. They focus on their lack, worry about their bills, and feel stress every time they think about money. Their dominant emotional state is one of scarcity. Because they are vibrating at the frequency of lack, their world must reflect that back to them. No matter how hard they work, opportunities seem scarce, unexpected expenses arise, and money always seems to slip away. It is not their actions alone that determine their financial state, it is their inner world, their habitual assumptions about money. Now, consider another person who assumes wealth is natural for them. They may not have visible riches yet, but they feel abundant. They walk with confidence, knowing that money flows easily into their life. They do not dwell on lack. Instead, they focus on the feeling of financial security. Because they live in a state of abundance internally, their outer world begins to reflect that. They attract unexpected opportunities. They make decisions that lead to financial success, and they naturally align with circumstances that bring prosperity. Their assumption of wealth shapes their reality. This is true in every area of life. If you assume that people are unkind and untrustworthy, you will encounter people who confirm that belief. If you assume that the world is filled with opportunities and that people are kind and helpful, you will experience that reality. You do not see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. Most people attempt to change their reality by fighting the outer world, trying to rearrange the mirror instead of changing the reflection. But true transformation happens from within. The moment you shift your internal state, the outer world has no choice but to follow. It may not happen instantly, but it is inevitable. Just as a planted seed must grow, your new assumption must take root and manifest in time. This is why it is so important to guard your thoughts and emotions. You must be mindful of what you accept as true, because every assumption, whether positive or negative, is shaping your reality. If you want to see different results in your life, do not look to the world, look within. Ask yourself, what am I assuming to be true? What emotions am I living in daily? What story am I telling myself about my life? The key is to embody the state of your desired reality now before it has appeared. When you feel, think, and act as though your desire is already yours, the world around you will begin to shift. People will respond to you differently, opportunities will appear, and circumstances will align in ways you never imagined possible. But it all begins with your internal world. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are the cause. Your outer world is the effect. If you want to see change, stop fighting the reflection, change the source. When you do, the world will rearrange itself in perfect harmony with your new state of being. The imagination is not a place where idle fantasies are entertained. It is the workshop of creation, the birthplace of all reality. Everything that has ever come into existence was first imagined before it became real. The house you live in, the device you hold, the clothes you wear, all were first conceived in the mind of someone who dared to believe in their vision. Yet most people underestimate the power of their imagination, dismissing it as mere daydreaming. They fail to realize that the mind is the architect of their life, shaping every experience according to the images and emotions they hold within. What you continually imagine, you create. Whether you do so consciously or unconsciously, your imagination is always at work forming the structure of your future. The issue is that most people allow their imagination to be governed by fear, doubt, and limitation. They use it to replay past failures, worry about the future, or dwell on things they do not want. Instead of directing their mental images toward their desires, they allow their imagination to run wild with negative possibilities, and in doing so, they unknowingly manifest those very fears into reality. To create the life you desire, you must discipline your imagination. You must take conscious control and deliberately construct the mental picture of the life you wish to experience. This is not a passive activity. It requires focus, persistence, and an unwavering belief in the unseen. The world may show you evidence that contradicts your vision, but you must hold firm to your inner reality, knowing that what you imagine with conviction must come to pass. Begin by closing your eyes and immersing yourself in the scene of your fulfilled desire. Feel the reality of it in every way. If you seek success, see yourself already in the position you desire. If you wish for love, feel the presence of the person who cherishes you. If you long for financial freedom, experience the sensation of abundance as if it were already yours. The key is not to think of your desire, but to think from it, to step inside the imagined scene and live from that reality. As you engage in this practice, let your emotions align with the images you create. Your feelings are the fuel of manifestation. It is not enough to see the vision, you must feel it as real. Let joy, gratitude, and certainty flood your being as you experience the fulfillment of your desire in your mind. If you can sustain this state, the outer world must conform to your inner conviction. Doubt is the only thing that can interrupt this process. The moment you entertain the idea that your imagination is just pretend, you weaken its power. But understand this, your imagination is more real than the physical world, for it is the source from which reality emerges. Everything you see around you now was once unseen, once just a thought in someone's mind. The moment you accept your imagined reality as true, the world begins to move in ways beyond your comprehension to bring it into being. Patience is necessary, for the outer world takes time to reflect inner changes. Just as a seed does not sprout the moment it is planted, your imagined reality must be nurtured with faith. Do not look to the physical world for confirmation. Instead, remain steadfast in your vision, knowing that what you have accepted within must express itself in time. Let your imagination become your dwelling place. Visit your fulfilled desire often, not as a fleeting wish, but as a lived experience. Walk through life as though what you seek is already yours. Let your actions, thoughts, and words reflect the certainty of your inner world. When you do this, manifestation is no longer a struggle. It becomes a natural unfolding of the reality you have already claimed within. There is no limit to what you can create if you master your imagination. It is the divine tool given to you, the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the force that transforms possibility. Use it with intention, with faith, and with the knowing that what you imagine with conviction must materialize. The world does not create for you, you create the world through the power of your imagination. Faith is not something you merely possess, it is something you embody, something you live by, something that seeps into your thoughts, actions, and entire being. Faith is not a passive hope, but an unshakable knowing that what you desire is already yours, even if the physical world has not yet revealed it. It is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the force that transforms an idea into a tangible reality. Most people think of faith as belief in something they cannot see, but true faith is deeper than that. True faith is living in the certainty of the unseen as if it were already a part of your life. It does not waver when circumstances appear contrary to the vision held within. It does not retreat in the face of delay. It does not falter when others doubt. Faith is the unwavering conviction that what you have claimed within must materialize, for it has already been accepted in your consciousness. The moment you accept your desire as true within, the external world must eventually conform to that assumption. The challenge, however, is maintaining faith when the physical world presents the opposite. This is where most people fail. They allow external conditions to dictate their beliefs instead of letting their beliefs dictate external conditions. They look at their current reality and feel discouraged, thinking their desires are too far out of reach. But this is the mistake: to allow the outer world to convince you that your inner vision is untrue. To manifest, you must have the discipline to remain faithful to your vision, even when everything around you suggests otherwise. You must learn to walk in the certainty of your fulfilled desire, to speak as if it is already done, to feel as though you already possess it. This is not delusion, this is creation in its purest form. The world is always responding to your state of being, and if you persist in the feeling of already having what you seek, the world must eventually yield to that assumption. Doubt is the greatest enemy of manifestation. The moment you entertain thoughts of uncertainty, you weaken the foundation of your creation. Doubt is a signal that you are still measuring reality by external evidence rather than by the conviction held within. But understand this: what you see now is only a reflection of your past assumptions. If you continue to focus on what is, you will only recreate the same reality over and over. To break free, you must give more weight to your inner world than to the outer. You must trust the unseen more than what your physical senses tell you. This is why so few people truly manifest their deepest desires. They do not sustain faith long enough for the unseen to become seen. They plant the seed, but then dig it up out of impatience, questioning whether it will ever grow. But faith does not question, faith knows. The person who manifests effortlessly is the one who refuses to waver, who holds on to the vision with absolute certainty, who does not need physical proof to confirm what they already accept as true. The key to unwavering faith is to live in the feeling of already having what you desire. The mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined if the feeling is strong enough. When you fully assume the state of your fulfilled desire, you align yourself with the version of you that already possesses it. You begin to think as that person, act as that person, and naturally take the steps that lead to its realization. The world will then move in ways beyond your comprehension to bring your assumption into physical form. Faith is not about forcing things to happen. It is about knowing they already have. It is not about worrying whether something will come to pass. It is about resting in the certainty that it must. When you walk in this kind of faith, the universe rearranges itself in perfect harmony with your belief. Opportunities appear where there were none before. People show up at the right time. Circumstances shift to accommodate the vision you hold within. But this can only happen if you refuse to let go of your inner knowing. Most people live as reactors, allowing life to shape them. But the ones who master faith become creators, shaping life according to their will. They do not wait for signs before they believe. Their belief is the sign. They do not need to see progress to trust the process. Their trust ensures the progress. When you reach this level of faith, there is no longer any effort in manifestation. It simply happens as naturally as a tree growing from a seed, because you have already accepted it as done. You must hold the feeling of your fulfilled desire so deeply that it becomes more real to you than the current reality. You must become so certain that the world has no choice but to align with your assumption. When doubt arises, do not entertain it. When fear tries to creep in, reject it. Instead, remind yourself that faith is not about seeing, it is about knowing. And when you know something as deeply as you know your own name, nothing in the world can convince you otherwise. The moment you reach this level of conviction, manifestation is inevitable. The world you experience is nothing more than a reflection of the inner world you have accepted as true. Every event, every person, every circumstance that unfolds in your life is a projection of the state of being you have dominantly occupied. This is why persistence in your assumption is the final and most crucial key to manifestation. It is not enough to momentarily entertain the idea of your fulfilled desire. You must dwell in it, live in it, breathe it, until it becomes so ingrained within you that the external world has no choice but to conform. Most people fail to manifest because they allow doubt and the illusion of time to shake their faith. They assume their desire for a moment, feel excitement, and then return to their old ways of thinking when they do not see immediate results. This inconsistency weakens their creative power. They do not realize that manifestation is not about an occasional thought, nor is it about constantly wishing for something to happen. It is about unwavering persistence in the assumption that it is already so. You must train yourself to remain loyal to your vision regardless of what the outer world presents to you. If you allow yourself to be swayed by circumstances, you are telling the universe that you do not truly believe in your own creation. But if you persist, if you continue to embody the feeling of your fulfilled desire, no matter what appears, you send an unshakable signal that this reality is the one you have chosen. The world has no choice but to respond accordingly. There will be moments where reality seems to contradict your assumption. You may face setbacks, delays, or even complete opposition to what you are trying to manifest. These moments are the true test of your faith. Most people give up when they encounter resistance, but the ones who succeed are those who persist through these trials, knowing that reality must bend to the convictions they hold. The physical world is simply a mirror, and it often takes time for the reflection to catch up to the new image you are holding within. Persistence is not about struggle, it is about certainty. It is not about forcing things to happen, but rather standing so firm in your inner knowing that there is no room for doubt. When you truly believe in the reality of your desire, there is nothing to chase, nothing to grasp for, because you already have it within. You are simply allowing the world to catch up to what you have already accepted as true. The key is to make your assumed reality your dominant state of mind. Every day you must remind yourself that what you seek is already yours. This is not a one-time practice, it is a way of living. You must replace thoughts of lack with thoughts of abundance, replace thoughts of fear with thoughts of certainty, and replace thoughts of delay with thoughts of it is already done. The mind will try to return to old patterns, but through repetition, you can reprogram yourself to live in the state of your desire effortlessly. One of the most powerful ways to persist in your assumption is through inner conversation. Throughout the day, your mind is always speaking, questioning, doubting, affirming, reacting. Most people allow their inner dialogue to run on autopilot, filled with worry, hesitation, and limitation. But the master of manifestation is conscious of every thought and intentionally shapes their inner dialogue to match their desire. If you desire success, your inner speech must be filled with thoughts of confidence and triumph. If you desire love, your inner conversations must reflect the assumption that you are already cherished. What you say to yourself in silence determines what the world says back to you. Another crucial aspect of persistence is emotional discipline. It is easy to feel faith when things are going well, but the true test comes when things appear stagnant or even moving in the opposite direction. In these moments, the mind will try to revert to old patterns of fear and frustration. But this is where persistence matters most. The unwavering manifestor does not allow external circumstances to dictate their inner world. They hold their ground, staying rooted in the feeling of already having what they seek. They do not react to delays with discouragement. They respond with even greater certainty. Time is an illusion in the world of manifestation. The moment you accept your desire as real within, it is already done. The only reason it has not appeared yet is because the physical world moves at a slower pace than the inner world, but the delay is not a sign of failure. It is simply the natural unfolding of creation. A seed does not sprout the moment it is planted, but it is growing beneath the surface long before it is visible. The same is true of your manifestation. Every moment you persist in your assumption, you are watering the seed, ensuring that it will break through the surface in due time. The ones who manifest effortlessly are not those who occasionally believe in their desires, but those who persist in their assumption until it becomes their reality. They do not waver, they do not beg, they do not hope, they know. They live in the end, act from the end, think from the end until the world has no choice but to reflect their inner state. Your job is not to worry about how or when. Your job is to persist, to remain unshaken in your assumption no matter what the outer world presents, to hold on to your vision as though it were already true, because in the only place that truly matters, the realm of consciousness, it already is. And if you persist in that knowing, nothing can stop it from manifesting in the physical world. The power to manifest lies not in wishing, hoping, or waiting. It lies in knowing. It is in the unwavering assumption that what you desire is already yours, in the disciplined practice of living as though it were so, and in the ability to remain steadfast in that belief despite any external contradictions. Reality is not something that happens to you, it is something that responds to you. It is shaped by your dominant thoughts, emotions, and states of being. The greatest secret to manifestation is not in seeking proof, but in becoming the proof. You must embody the feeling of your fulfilled desire so completely that the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Every thought you entertain, every emotion you cultivate, and every assumption you persist in is creating the reality you will experience. The only thing standing between you and your desire is your ability to hold on to the vision without wavering. Doubt is the destroyer of dreams, but faith is the builder of worlds. The moment you assume your desire as real, it is done. The only question is whether you will persist long enough for the physical world to catch up to your assumption. You are not waiting for your manifestation, you are allowing it. You are aligning with it. You are stepping into the version of yourself who already possesses it. Walk in your assumption with confidence. Speak as though it is already done. Feel it as though you have already received it. Do not let time, circumstances, or the opinions of others shake your belief. The world is malleable, and you are its creator. The moment you stop questioning and start knowing, your manifestation becomes inevitable. The only requirement is that you persist. And when you do, the unseen will become seen. The imagined will become tangible, and what once seemed impossible will simply become the story of how you stepped into your power.